Yeah.
Hello, I am so thankful that all of you are here tonight. It's so good to see all of your faces. I see some people that I see a lot of the time, and I see a couple of people that are quite new. I'm very excited. Hello, Raim and Sherry. Hello to all of you. Now, this meeting is being recorded because not only will we be meeting here tonight, but this is so that others can view later. So thank you for being here. I know you're going to be encouraged. I just love these events because after I hear other people's stories, it makes me even greater for these products and often brings a tear to my eye because we don't know what other people are struggling with. So it's so good to be vulnerable and to hear each other's heart. You are going to hear from not one and not two or three, but actually 5 friends really quick. So we're going to get started. Okay. First of all, I want you to meet Kaylee McFall. She is a full-grown firecracker if I've ever known one. We also call her Quick Draw McFall because when somebody in our community has a question on our chat, she is right there with a helpful answer. We love our Kaylee. Kaylee, I know that you had a couple of issues going on, and one in particular that frustrated you to no end. Would you share a little bit about that?
I would love to. So I really struggled with eczema and yeast infections. I went to multiple doctors and basically they told me that I was hating it. And I remember seeing my Aunt Sherry posting about Plexus a lot, almost to the point where I was like, this lady is crazy. But now I totally understand that. I'm sorry, Aunt Sherry. But I finally had enough. The doctors didn't help me. Nothing helped me. So I was like, Aunt Sherry, can this help me? She's like, yes, it can. So here I am. I started Plexus in September of last year, and my eczema that I've battled since 2017 and my yeast infections, I got them every single month like clockwork. So that's 3 years of yeast infections. Insane. But I've only had one yeast infection since I started last year, and my eczema cleared up within the first month. And I am eczema free ever since.
Yay! That makes life much better, doesn't it?
Sure does.
And I noticed you commenting just the other day about something else that you were enjoying when your little one was scooted up against you on the couch.
Yes.
What's going on with that?
I have lost about 20 pounds and a little over overall inches.
That's amazing.
It's
And that brings up a really important point to me because a lot of people, when they hear about Plexus, they say, oh, that's that weight loss company. Well, yeah, but not just weight loss. And so your story is so encouraging, and it just highlights the fact that skin issues are gut issues. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people are taking creams and they're putting them on. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with creams. Probably gave you some sanity sometimes, but we got to address it in the gut. So Kaylee, thank you for sharing. What would you say your favorite product is?
It would absolutely be ProBio 5. Beautiful right here, because that is what fixed my eczema and my other yeast issues.
That's great. That's fantastic. I love that. Thank you so much for taking the time to share.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right. Now, I love my next friend's story. Sherry, a lot of people think that we're like sisters separated at birth or something because we can like finish each other's sentences. We think the same things. We'll text each other from time to time. And then the other one will say, that's what I was just fixing to ask you. And so it's been amazing getting to know Sherry, but we've never even met in real life. And so we're still looking forward to our chance to meet. She is here with her husband, Rain. They just had their 33rd anniversary. And I'm so grateful you're here to share because your story makes my heart so happy. I know that, Sherry, you had a health scare that was the reason you decided to say yes to Plexus. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We started Plexus back in November of 2019. And when we first started, well, prior to that, I had been to the doctor. I'll give you the short version for lack of time. I'd been to the doctor and they told me I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was pre-diabetic. I knew that I had leaky gut syndrome and my hair was falling out. I had puffiness in my thyroid that no doctor was taking care of. And I just felt horrible. I just literally felt like the path that I was on, if I kept on that path, things weren't going to look good in my future. And I just knew something was wrong. And so I literally got on my knees and prayed one day. And the next day I got an email or a text from Pat. And she had no idea what I was going through, but the Lord used her as an answer to my prayer. And a few months later, I was watching her testimonies. And a few months later, I had started Plexus. Literally the day I came home from the doctor's office, I knew the doctor wanted me on medicine for everything. And I just didn't want to take that path. I just always felt like they were just Band-Aids on deep infections. And I needed to get to the root of my issues. And so I told the doctor, you give me a chance here. I want to try doing this naturally. And see if we can do this without medicine. She said, you've got 6 months. She pointed her finger at me. You got 6 months. And I said, okay. And 6 months later, I was doing amazing. I had lost 14 pounds. I was considered obese at the time. I had lost 14 pounds, but I had lost over 20 inches. And I also had yeast problems that are totally gone. My blood pressure is normal. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I'm just feeling so wonderful. I have energy and it's just been an amazing journey. And I am just so thankful to Pat for being that answer to my prayer. And about 4 days in, I was taking the Slim and I noticed I used to be like a major sugaraholic. And 4 days in, my cravings for sugar were completely gone. And so I said to my husband, okay, that's it. You were on this stuff right now. And so I started him. And, the rest is history. We've just been doing so amazing on it. I can't hear you, Pat.
Yes, you have been doing amazing. We just had a little glitch. I forgot to bring my product I wanted to show. So my faithful husband ran and got it. Yes. And there was something else that Rain had experienced, allergies. This time of year, so many people struggle with that. And so your testimony, Rain, really meant a lot to us because in Texas, when the wind blows, everybody's stopped up. And guess what? The wind blows a lot. So that was very encouraging.
I would actually look like I was crying at work and stuff and have to carry a tissue all the time. And it's all gone, all totally gone.
That people didn't want a crying mailman, huh? That's great. So which product, Sherry probably has a favorite and Rain probably has a favorite. Which would you say is y'all's favorite?
Well, here's my favorite.
I love that.
I can't pick just one. I love them all. But tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about Active because Active, I love how Active makes me feel. It gives me so much energy, sustainable energy. It doesn't leave me in crashes. It just helps me to focus. When I'm working at my desk, I just feel so focused. But when I take my Active, I always put collagen in it. I love the collagen in my Active. To me, it reminds me when Raymond and I used to date, we used to go to the mall and have those orange Julius's. And that's what it reminds me of. Every day I feel like I'm on a date with my husband. But it really has helped. It oxygenates your body. It actually helps your body to naturally produce nitric oxide, increasing your oxygen by 175%. So it just makes me feel so energetic, but I don't have the jitters. I don't have, the crashes that come with some of those dangerous, caffeinated products that you can buy in the store that are actually bad for your heart. Active is actually good for your heart. And so that's probably one of my top faves.
I love that. I love to hear you talk about Active because you actually have taught me a lot of things, times that you've shared about it with people, and your sweet voice and your enthusiasm are so encouraging. So thank you. I love that. Now, Raim, which product would you say is your favorite?
Well, I like them all. ProBio 5 is great because of the allergies, but I'm going to talk about MetaBurn. And I just like it because of the energy that it gives you. It's just, I like to run, and I was stuck at 215. Just, I couldn't get under at all with whatever I would do, running or anything. So I decided to try MetaBurn, and just in a short period, I lost another 18 pounds. And it's very, very, very good product. And I like the sustainability of it, where your weight doesn't fluctuate. It stays even and just is very consistent.
That is great. And that is so true. Honestly, that caught me off guard. The sustainability of both the energy from the Active and the MetaBurn. Products that I had used previously were great for that, that real quick pick me up or the real quick weight loss, but keeping that energy, Plexus has a corner on that. And I really appreciate that. Enjoy it. I also wanted you to hear a little from the reason that I came to Plexus, my husband. My story, just in a nutshell, was I had a really prolonged period of perimenopause, and my hormones were shot. And we are the parents of 13 children, wonderful people, almost all adults now. And so you can imagine that my hormones had taken a hit. I had some issues in 2005, where I actually thought I was having a heart attack. My precious husband was concerned about me. We went to the hospital. They tried medicine after medicine. Nothing happened. He came home. They said, go home and go to a heart doctor in the morning. But we knew what that would mean. We knew that that meant I would be on meds for maybe the rest of my life. And although there are times where those meds are necessary, I did not want to do that yet at that age if I had not explored all my options. So Tom got online and researched, and really quick story was that he figured out I was extremely deficient in magnesium. And we went and got the best magnesium we could find, tested it out, and within 48 hours?
No, that's.
Well, that afternoon.
It was that evening, yeah.
My heart rate had returned to normal and the pain was gone. And so that was a while back. But during all of those years, there were ups and downs. And I went through a couple of years of IBS and really bad migraines and a host of other things that you don't have time for. But Tom, again, one day said, I really think you should try Plexus. And I thought, you know what? I've tried so many things. We've spent so much money. I'm tired of being the focus of all of our health funds, but okay, I'll try it. And so, Tom, I would like for you, I've kind of cut you out of the picture.
Okay.
I would like for you to share what it was that caused you to say, let's try Plexus.
Well, it goes, can you hear me okay? Everybody good? Our daughter, Sarah, actually started Plexus first. She was introduced to it by a missionary from Ukraine. And Sarah had a UTI that was pretty severe. In fact, it was one of those traumatic times, almost like taking Pat to the hospital. And she began to use Plexus and began to change her. I thought, well, and one of the things we do every day is doctors, a lot of them in a good way, wanting to help people, give them medications to relieve symptoms, but they don't really get to the root of the problem. And so my deal is, let's don't fix the outside before we fix the inside. And so I knew that, if you can imagine, there's a little bit of stress with 13 kids. I think we've had 5 teenagers at once multiple times. And so that's why this is gone right now, but I'm just kidding. But it's just one of those things where stress is just a part of life and you have to learn to deal with it. And, we were going through some times, we had some kids who had some difficult issues, and, that just, everybody knows that. I mean, when you're a kid and you're upset, you get a stomach ache, your mom gives you Pepto-Bismol, right? Trying to make you feel better. And so we were dealing with that, but I knew, there have been times when Pat would just, she would have tremendous stomach pain. And so I thought, let's try it, because you know what, Plexus it started really as a gut product, to try to fix that. Obviously there was the breast check thing and all that, but primarily it started with the triplex. And so she started, I saw things change. We did it after Sarah. We took some of Sarah's, she introduced us to it. We were not very consistent. And then really, you get to that point and everybody reaches that tipping point where you've got to do something. And Pat had reached that point. And so we just felt like we've got to do it and we got to jump all in and not just be like occasional users. Like, it's not like aspirin where you take it to get rid of your headache. It has to be over a period of time. And so we did that and it's been great. And, this is the one who's the big deal, because it's made tremendous impact on her. And it has made on me as well, but not quite to the level, probably because I didn't have 13 kids. She actually had 16 pregnancies and 13 live births. So you can imagine, oldest is 36 and the youngest turns 16 next week. So anyway, that long story made short, that we just saw it turn around, and it was, we just had to do something, and praise God, Plexus helped solve that issue, or begin to solve it. So
yeah, that's right. So now we were going to choose some different products to talk about, but this must be ProBio 5 night. I just want you to know, the truth was several wanted to talk about ProBio 5. And so which product would you say is your favorite?
Well, there are multiple ones, but ProBio 5 is one that, for me, 7 years ago, really right around this time, I had a dental issue that I took an antibiotic for, one that's targeted for dental issues. And just about, I guess, 4 days into it, I started feeling funny in my wrists, in my joints, and I looked it up, and sure enough, that's one of the serious side effects on the side of the bottle. So I called the dentist. He said, "Is the problem, is it bothering you anymore?" I said, "Well, not really." He said, "Well, then stop taking it." But the problem is, stopping the antibiotic didn't really fix the problem. It just left me with a gut that was decimated. And I had skin problems, kind of like Kaylee was saying. I looked like, all I can say is it looked like I had leprosy. In fact, I'm a guy who loves to shake hands. I won my father-in-law's heart by shaking his hand with one of those, bring him to their knees handshake. And I really couldn't do that much because there was like, okay, if I come in contact with someone who's got like MRSA or something, I'm going to contract that. So anyway, long story short is it's been a long road, and mine wasn't immediate like Kaylee's, but it has cleared that up, and it's done some other things like helped me to eliminate, which I've always been an anxious person. And so as a kid, I grew up, my dad was an alcoholic and some other things. And so there's always been that anxiety part, which is a factor in constipation and other things. And so it's really helped me to kill off that bad stuff and get things going. And it makes a big difference. And so hopefully that's not too much information, but yeah, it's a great product. And if you're not using it, you should.
That is the truth. That is the truth. You know what? Kaylee had skin issues. We all mentioned weight issues. You know what, Sherry, real quick, we wanted to hear a little about your dad also. And I almost forgot that part. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, thank you. My dad, about a year ago, went to the doctor and they told him that he had a fatty liver and they were very concerned about it. And just recently, he had to, my dad's been on Plexus for close to a year now. And just recently he had to go in for a pacemaker. And so they did a full exam on him before he went in. And they found that his fatty liver is totally clear now. He no longer has a fatty liver. And he said, Sherry, the only thing I've done different is Plexus. So I'm not even sure which product specifically did it. I mean, he's been using the Triplex and Ease and Nerve, but somewhere in that beautiful combo, it has really helped him. And so, and he struggles a lot with pain and arthritis and stuff. And so it's just been a blessing to know that there's something there to help him, you know? And, you know, that's one of the things with Plexus, like we can take this stuff and it makes us feel good. But you can't keep this to yourself. I mean, when you feel good and you see these changes, you just have to tell people, you know, and like Kaylee, she got a little tired of it for a while. And she even told me one time, and Sherry, I only said yes to shut you up. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care what your reason was, you know, I'm just glad you tried it. And, you know, it's just been such a blessing to be able to help people, you know, to just feel better and to get better health through Plexus products. So
yeah, I'm rejoicing with you about your dad. That is so fantastic. And I mean, they've given so much. Our parents give us so much. I know it makes you feel really happy that you can give back to him.
Absolutely.
You know, Sherry said it and Tom said it. These are not Band-Aids. We're not looking for Band-Aids. Nobody's got time for that. We want to get to the root cause of these illnesses and health issues. And that's why these stories that we've told you tonight have so much transformative and encouraging power. And we are still in the journey. And, you know, I love it. About 6 months ago, I guess it was the first time I heard someone say, I'm a lifer, and I'm there. I can't not take these products because of the difference that they've made in my health. Now, nothing is wasted. You are here right now for a reason. I highly encourage you to get back with the friend who invited you to come to this meeting and let them know that you're ready to have your own story. Our community is on a mission for every single person to live their very best life through health and happiness. And we want you to enjoy that lifestyle. We have a lot of different combinations to get you started. And so all we need to know is what your health goals are. And we will be able to advise you for what's best for you personally. The fun thing about this community is, although there are some with advanced degrees and really smart people, really professional people, there are some of us like me who did not even graduate from college, did not have a career outside of my home. Now, I don't pretend to be a medical professional, but Melissa and my other members in my upline have equipped me with good information that is perfect for guiding people to what will help them be healthy. Plexus is a company that provides all the instruction that we need, a a website where we can continue to learn and grow, and it's all about growth. So get with that person. That friend did you a favor inviting you, and we are here for you. Thank you to each of you, Sherry, Raim, Kaylee, and Tom, for sharing. Thanks for taking time to be with us tonight. Blessings on your night, and have a good rest of the week. Thank you so much. Good night.